my name is Genesis, and I will be your host. Today we are here with
Amy, Hannah,
Martin.
And today we will be talking about transgender people and how, fuck that.
What does transgender mean? Transgender are the people whose gender identity is different from the gender they were assigned at birth. Our first topic that we're going to be talking about today is about understanding and supporting transgender people.
I believe how they can be understood and more welcomed would be using correct names and pronouns and just including them in conversations without judgment, and just always trying to be kind and optimistic with what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, just like what you said, just making sure they never feel judged, make sure they feel safe with you. Yeah. And comfortable with you, talking to you. And transgender people's identity is as important as our identity. And it's important to meet them where they are and offer the type of support they need most. We should be respectful and just with people, regardless of their gender.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as a straight male student, I feel like we should learn. You should be eager to learn more about this and understand their experience for the trans, We should experience how they feel or how's their life experience or how's their life and family have to deal with, their identity. We have to understand, what they're experiencing, in their lives. Homophobia, discrimination, because we really have to help these people because they might dealing with mental health, depression or anything of that.
Yeah, and then if they don't feel support from someone, let's say their parents, they come up to their parents oh, hey mom, I just want to let you know, I'm transgender. And then if they don't feel that support from their parents, that could also take a bigger mental toll, or because it could make their mental health much more worse, and it can escalate to other things, it could mental can lead to physical harm. They can start because families who aren't as open to gender identity as some people are tend to disown their own child when they're coming out to them about their gender.
How can we help these challenges, though? How can we help understand these challenges they're dealing with?
Gender people deserve to be welcome without prejudice.
So, popcorning off of what Hannah just said, I want to speak about how trans people feel discriminated. I think it should be something that should be most discussed, because I feel like they do feel discriminated a lot against, how they face unfair treatment, they get bullied constantly, and they just deserve more respect, safety, and equal rights as anyone else.
So, adding on to what Genesis just said, about discrimination and how transgender people are discriminated against a lot, I do have a story to tell. So, I do have this cousin who is transgender, and he has been discriminated against many times, there's been multiple occasions where at school he is purposefully misgendered and called by his dead name and use different pronouns that are not the pronouns he goes by. That's just really wrong, and it still happens to this day. Not as much, but more so at the beginning of when he first came out as transgender, He just felt very judged and it wasn't a safe place. He didn't feel like he belonged. And it really took a toll on his mental health. Yeah, we tend to disrespect transgender people through our opinions, misusing their pronouns, thinking one thought won't hurt them. But really, we can't really tell how these little things affect them.
I agree with that. I feel like that's a really big statement that's made, that they do feel like a lot of unfair and misgendering, which is really like pretty bad on their part.
Yeah.
Another problem for trans people, they also face like legal and rarely barriers, which can be constantly by locations, by in many states and school districts too.
Yeah, like the discrimination doesn't really have an exempt. Like any places, transgender people can experience discrimination.
Yes, I mean,
especially
but few legal protections for the trans people, it's very vulnerable for them to deal with this. Like,
yeah, I agree. Like, going off of what Martin had said, I believe that they get like discriminated if they go to the bathroom. Like it's that bad. Like it's crazy once you put to think about it and understand what they actually go through. Like, for example, like the bullying, it never ends. They feel like they can't be themselves. They feel like they have to upbring themselves and put themselves down just because other people dislike that.
Yeah, like, like no one should have to go through that kind of discrimination just because they're being themselves, like.
And there's also a law that was made around early 1900s that anti-cross dressing, where men can't wear skirt and women can't wear pants. And that's just really sad to see how even public laws that's supposed to like protect people are also going against transgender people.
Yeah, like talking about what you just said about how the men can't wear skirts and women can't wear this or that. Clothes has no identity, like you can't wear something and then someone's gonna assume something about your identity, like you should be able to wear what you want without having stereotypes made about you.
I agree with that. I believe there are some people who do take somebody dressing up as a form of art, a form of expressing themselves, and there are a lot of people like that. But I think mainly it shouldn't, the way you dress shouldn't define the person you are.
Yes.
Because I know, like, as a person, like, I like to dress, let's say, like, a little more on the manly side. Boyish. And I've gotten, like, talked about, like, oh, maybe she's this and this, but I think it doesn't define me in any way. It shouldn't define me.
It's just what you feel comfortable in, it's literally.
It's just the way you sound. Like, you like the style, like, you like the taste of the outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
And you feel, like, comfortable about it, but other people find it very, they might assume that you might be, like, trans, or they maybe could say something otherwise.
Like, I've had people tell me that, oh yeah, are you lesbian or this and that because of the way I dress. But I think the way that a person dresses or the way that a person acts shouldn't define who they are and how they are with other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it could be it could be hateful, but other people can take it as a disrespectful way to say, like, oh, I think that the way you dress is not very in your own way or your own gender.
Yeah, they shouldn't have an opinion on that, it's what you want. It's your body, you do what you want. Right?
Yeah, but it can also be harmful to sensitive people, people who never experience, like, harmful or hateful things in their life. Like, people who are, like, innocent.
Yeah, and no amount of label should be put on someone. Just as James Baldwin said on the book, The Gender Binary is a Big Lie by Lewin, he said there that once you have discerned the meaning of a label, it may seem to define you for others, but it does not have the power to define you to yourself. So, it's important to have respect for every individual.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that. It's very.
I think leading on to everything we had just like, conjugated, I think that can lead us to our ultimate topic, which would be how trans people feel dehumanized. I believe they feel dehumanized just because a lot of people like to misgender, dead name, make them feel invisible in ways, and I think that can be easily fixed, but there's like so many examples of how they feel invisible, like stereotypes or media and cultures. Like, I know there are a lot of cultures who don't agree with transgender people a lot, and it's just like they're always gonna feel invisible, and it's kind of sad. Like, basic rights are also a big thing.
Yeah, and transgender people also experience dehumanization from social rejection. You know, when as Amy shared the story of her cousin, the way her cousin felt the barrier from it's his friends who's supposed to support him didn't really pay attention and just go against him, and that made him feel rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. I want to add on a quote from the book "The Gender Binary is a Big Lie" by Lee Win. All right, here's the quote: "A rainbow doesn't have its colors separated by coloring book lines." This quote to me means, like, you can't be separated into a different category just like because you're a part of the LGBTQ, or like just because you're transgender. Like, we're all humans,
Yeah, it doesn't make you weird to be a part of a specific group.
Yeah, I feel like all humans should believe in equality.
Exactly. I feel like that's what that quote is trying to say,
Yeah.
Will there be any add-ons or...
And
here's the question of the day. What can you do to make transgender people feel included?
Be open and have pronounce their gender or their identity more respectful, or don't be assuming who they are.
Yeah, just respect them.
Yeah.
And
so the correct pronouns,
Yeah. And as humans, we must treat others humanely the way we want it to be treated. Because transgender people deserves more than labels or assumptions. Using the correct pronouns can create a safer environment for students and teachers.
This is our end of our podcast. My name is Martin.
And my name is Hannah.
And my name is Amy.
And I am your host, Genesis, and this is us signing off. Bye.
Bye.